Thank you, Bruno. And I definitely appreciate the garden a lot too. It's we're all in this together. Right? So let's be in class with more gratitude. So thank you for being here, time, and then gratitude for the knowledge and the practice. Because I'm going to take a break in August. I want to spend the next few classes kind of just reviewing some of the fundamentals as well as the form and just trying to encapsulate it best I can for you guys before we have a little break. So starting with left foot forward, feet are shoulder width apart, and then we're doing our basic warm up, right? We bring our weight forward, and we bring our weight back. We bring our weight forward, and we bring our weight back. Now, as we're doing this today, I usually mention the importance of thinking about the whole surface of the foot and the rolling through the whole foot of the weight from the back to the front. But I also want to add in today a little bit more of an intentional muscular contraction. So I want, when you bring your weight, say, to the front, push down into the floor strongly. So you flex your thigh muscle somewhat. And when you come back to your back leg, same thing. So that you're activating the whole musculature of the leg by pushing down. And this is important throughout training because the ground is your friend. The ground is this surface you push against for all of your movements. So push. Now, from here, as you push, you can turn your hip. So if I'm to the front and I push up from the front to go back, and I turn my hip, those two things work together. So the pressure pushing and the turning. And then from here, the pressure pushing and the turning. Really kind of draw out the muscle flexation that is required to do this and sort of intentionally maximize it a bit. Okay, so this sets up the lower body movement. We've talked about this lots before. It's critical that your whole body works in unison. The lower body has to support the upper body for effective movement. Now, notice your left shoulder in the front. It's going in a circle. That circle is a result of the pushing and pulling below. So feel that. Connect that in your mind. You can even sort of visualize, like energetic, intangible strings connecting all those points. And then release your left hand from your body and just let it flow back and flow forward. Flow back and flow forward. Now, accentuate that. Take that movement and draw it back further, and then come out further. Right? So there's a bigger movement here. Now this should be stretching the muscles, the really small muscles in the shoulders and the hips, the push and the pull between the two. Now, think about that movement with the elbow as it is, but extend the forearm up, bring the palm up here, and this part, extend forward, and then come back. See, here's the elbow circle, right? And then now I'm going 1, 2. So here I'm pushing forward and I'm pushing down. I'm pushing down and pushing forward. Here I'm pushing down and pulling back. Pushing down, pushing forward, pushing down, pulling back. So this is with the left hand, and the left hand and the left foot are both forward. Now, as you push forward, imagine you're pushing against something that has some weight. So you have to really push. Squeeze your stomach and squeeze your palms slightly. And now 3 times, maximum focus forward. All the energy in the musculature comes together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one, focus. 5. Focus, focus, focus. Hold it, squeeze. Feet together, breathe in. Breathe out. Down to the floor. Up. Open and up. And shake it out. And then put your right foot forward. Hands up. And forward and back only. But again, push into the ground with the foot where the weight's going. So you really feel that dynamic. You want to maximize that dynamic. There's a terminology or term that gets used in Tai Chi and other martial arts called rooting. And when you put your weight down and push onto the foot you're on, you're rooting onto that foot. And there's even writings about the idea that you visualize like tree roots coming out of your feet energetically for about a foot into the ground. And you can do that if you like. But what really matters is the weight pushing down and the strength of that. And now, if you think about a tree, though, because a tree is a wonderful example of this, it doesn't grow straight up, it spirals up. There's a spiraling nature to the growth of all trees and the branching of the trees. So that's what this is when I turn, it's the trunk of the tree spiraling up to the sky, right here. The roots are pushing down, but the trunk is turning to come up. Now push into the ground, push into the ground. Feel the strength of the legs. And then release the right arm. Feel the push and the pull here. Now the elbow draws a circle. Comes out and back. Out. So that's the same circle that we're going to do with the hand, but now the hand has to have a little more dynamic to it. The forearm extends. So reach and come back. Reach and come back. Now start to push against something in your mind. Pressure, push. Now 5 strong focus using the stomach muscles and the hand and the lower body. Ready? 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Last one. Focus all your energy. 5. Feet together. Breathe. Breathe out. And down. And up. And over. Okay. So warm up the legs a little bit. Put your left foot forward. It's fine to start leaning both sides. And I'm just taking the right leg, hands up, and I'm going to swing forward like that. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then right foot forward, swing the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now have your feet parallel to each other. Excuse me. Step back, start with the right, do that, and bring your knee down and up. 1. Feet together, other foot. 2. Stepping back each time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then push your left foot forward again. Relax. And do a slow, well-formed front kick with holding the extension on the kick for a moment. So 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. And switch feet. Same thing, slow, well-formed kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Shake out. Make loose fists and massage the muscles of the legs on the outside. And massage the calves on the outside. And the inside, a little lighter. The inside on the legs. And then the glutes. And then tap the lower back. And then tap the center of the chest. Fingertips for thymus gland. And then shake it out. Good. Then we'll stretch. So, feet out. Sink down. And relax. Side to side. Turn your feet forward, fingertips to the floor, and sink down. As low as you can, pushing your knees out. Relax. Up, twist elbow to the knee. Other way. Head up. Turn to the side. Sink down. Lean into the stretch. Push. Push even more. Lean down. So the rudder stretch. Sink down again. Bring your knee down. Push your weight forward. Stretch the underside of the leg. Bring your weight back up. Step back and sink down. That's the middle. Head up. Enter to the right. Sink in. Sink in some more. Lean down. Bring the weight forward. Turn to the side. Straighten up. Bring the back knee down. Bring your weight forward. Then up. Step back. Sink back down into Tai Chi stretch here. Hands to the middle. Work the feet in. Straighten the back of the knees. Breathe in slowly, bringing the hands up the back of the legs. Round the hips to the kidneys and breathe out, pushing forward. And circle the hips. And the other way. Good. Hands out. Fold the wrists in, elbows, shoulders. And then the opposite out. In and out. Breathe in, breathe out. One. And out. Hold. Extend, 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 extend. And drop. And now, slow circles that rise up and extend out and drop down. But slow enough that we feel every part of the movement. And one joint leads the other. Shoulders lead elbows, elbows lead wrists. Breathe in, breathe out. One more. Now the other way. Breathe in, breathe out. Now breathe in, bring your hands up. Look up at the hands, grab the ball, and throw it at the ground, free fall. 1, 2, 3. And then reach up. Look up. Extend through your fingertips, high as you can. Bring your weight to the front of your feet, tippy toes. Keep stretching, keep stretching. Higher, higher, and down. Elbow and twist. Drop the arms, reach up, elbow and twist. And drop the arms. Reach up again. Look up. Tippy toes, high as you can. Up, 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 up. Keep stretching, keep stretching. And then heels down. Cross your elbows. Bring it in close. Twist from your feet. Front, other side, crossing the elbows and twisting. And back to the front. Shake it out. Left hand, extend. Back, flip the hand, extend. In, twist, and around. And then we'll try this one again today. So I'm going to turn my hand so that my thumb points down, my elbow comes all the way up, opening the shoulder, opening the armpit. And then I take my other hand, thumb up, and I grab the fingers, and I twist the fingers this way like a motorcycle throttle, and I push the elbow up and back as I do that. And then shake it off. And then the other. Fingers down. Over. Into center. And then again, here it's elbow comes all the way up and behind the head, right? Like we push behind you. Thumb down, and pinky finger up, other hand opposite, grab the fingers, twist and push back. And give it a shake. And then hands on your hips, relax your shoulders, and turn your head, focusing on the chin, moving on a level plane across. And then the chin drops and rises, drops and rises, drops and rises, drops and rises. And look forward, look up, down, and around. 1, 2, 3, other way. 1, 2, 3. Okay. If you would like a little bit of water, this would be a good time. A little water myself. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about some foundational theories, foundational elements to Tai Chi before you went to the practice a little bit today, so that again, I just want to reiterate some of these important fundamentals before I take my break. I just realized too, and I'll email Bruno about this, but I have a back catalog of pre-recorded classes from earlier this year when I was doing everything online, and I can make that accessible to you guys to watch over the summer too. So I'll email Bruno about that. Okay, So Tai Chi is based off Taoist philosophy of yin and yang, large, the main roots of this. So this is the yin yang symbol, although this is my specific school's variation on it. But you can see it's the yin yang, right? The classic yin yang idea. So if you think of the separation, if you think of yin and yang as a wave, right? So the high point of the wave is the yang, up and expanding up and forward, and then it crashes and curls in, and that's yin. So the yin and then the yang, yin and then the yang, and on it goes like this. The idea I want to present right now is this idea of what is described as this inner peace, the mental calmness, whatever you want to describe that as, that you get from the standing meditation or the centering, the breathing meditations. That's like, if you imagine the wave here, the yin yang here, there's a line in the middle that you want to stay on that line. Because if you go too high up with the energy as it rises, that becomes hyper behavior. That could become expressed as like maniacal behavior, even if it goes in a negative sense. And then self-aggrandizement behavior, especially the idea of the ego inflation, the rising of the ego is a big part of that. The yin would be more like, in a negative sense, would be like the falling into depression, falling into self-doubt and anxiety. And you want to be in the middle, right? Because you don't want to get pulled up to any of those ones. You want in the middle. This is the middle ground in Buddhism. Okay, so one of the great things about the art is that you can practice ideas physically, embody them in a microcosm. So you can take this great philosophical concept of riding in, like these guys in the boat here, riding the waves, and as they crash and fall, you're still just along in the middle, and physically do it. So the idea is then to take the yin yang and fold it out into two. So there's one yin yang becomes two, and you have a figure eight or an infinity symbol. Okay, which is yin to yang, just the relationship between the two. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a left foot forward, and I'm going to show you my legs a little better here. Left foot forward, and we're going to think about the idea of this movement that we were doing earlier here, right? But instead of just simply doing one circle in one plane here, I'm going to see an infinity sign. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and across, left to right, and then I'm going to come up and across right to left. So I've done the infinity sign, right? 1, 2, and then I'm going to cut through the middle of it here. Okay, so left hand comes up left to right, and then left hand comes up right to left, and then I cut through the middle of it here. So you're learning the waves function as a yin and yang relationship, but you're going to go through the center. Okay, now go. And as you do this, this is a jeté, don't worry about that too much. But as you do this, think of cutting up and through, and then cutting through the center. Okay? Now, start with your feet shoulder width apart and relax. And what you're going to do is step forward and do the move and come back. And you want to do it in such a way that it's as perfected as it can be. I'm going to talk about this as this is related to the concept. So you want to aim at the absolute perfect motion. Okay, ready, go. Now relax. Do you feel tension in your arm? Let it go. 2. Let it go. 3. Okay, so that's the idea. Now, I'm going to let you go ahead and do it at your own pace. But every time you do it, you have to come back to complete relaxation, just like the beginning of the form. What you notice is when you do this type of thing, and you're thinking about the movement, you'll tense muscles in your arm. And when you come back, you'll feel that tension. You should feel that tension, and you want to let it go again. Okay? So, on your own, just a couple more times on this side. No, keep going. One last time. Now, before you do this one last time, we'll do both sides, but before you do this last time on the left, imagine that you have one chance to do this. You have to get it right but you can't second guess yourself. You can't anticipate anything. Getting it right means being in the moment, perfectly in the moment. No separation between movement and intention. Everything exists right now. Good. Now switch sides. Start with just put the right foot forward and get the feel of the movement. Up and across, and through the center. 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, makes sense? We got up, and across. All right, let's put it into action. Here, relax. Step in. Right? Yeah, this one you're getting this one quicker. Again. Now, a couple more times on your own. Good. Now come back and relax. So that movement is a microcosm of the entire teachings of Tai Chi. So let me talk about what I mean by that, and then we'll jump into the form. First, you're showing yourself, and you want to work on this as a skill, as the visualization of the movement as a shape, as a symbolic, meaningful shape. Not right. It's not just random movement, but these movements have meaning beyond just the physical element. So that's important. But what's really important is this: you get one chance to act. And whatever happens, you have to be at peace with it. And that is the line in the middle between the high point of yin and the low point of yang. I mean, the high point of yang and the low point of yin. That's where you sustain that peace, is the acceptance of reality as it flows. So there's no grasping that and holding it here. It's, oh, wow, I do what I did, and then I let it go. And this is such an important part of the teaching, because as you learn the form more, that's what's going on in the form. You do a technique, and regardless if you did it perfectly, you have to go on to the next technique. And then on it goes that way. And so I'll finish with this. My teacher would always say this, and I want to repeat him again. Martial art, martial having to do with the resolving of conflict, the aim to resolve conflict and hopefully not get into conflict, but to resolve it if it occurs. Art is the pursuit of perfection, knowing it cannot be attained. So you're aiming at the perfect movement when you practice this movement. You won't get it. You'll never get it perfect because no one ever does. But you aim at that over and over, and that becomes the practice. And then when you have to, if you have to defend yourself, and I hope you don't, but if you have to defend yourself, you know that you don't get to second guess yourself. You can act in the moment, and you can just engage with what's happening, and then that'll give you the best chance. So all of those things come together in that way. Okay, so that was the foundational stuff I wanted to share today. If there's any questions, otherwise I'll move on to the form. Okay, so let's move on to the form. I want to jump into, how much time do we have? Okay, let's jump into the second set today and go through it and see where we end up with that, okay? So I'm going to face this way to start. I'm going to carry the tiger to the mountain, so I'm going to hold the tiger. I'm going to feel the weight of the tiger in my hands. And now I'm going to spiral to the back right corner and catch a sparrow by the tail. And now turn, spiraling down onto your left foot, block low, step back, big circle, 2 hands. Sink down onto the right foot, hands up. This is the same position as carrying the tiger to the mountain. Now, let's reach out and push down 1, reach out and push down 2. Extend the left hand, bring the right hand back, bring the left knee to the left elbow. Step back, and again, and again. Now, your weight's on your left. Turn your head over your right shoulder, look over your right shoulder. Turn your right foot to the corner and turn your body, switch your weight. And here, Block a kick as you step back. Block a punch with your left hand, and then reach out and extend into spear position. Feel the extension. Swing the right arm around. Both hands pick up the left foot. Both hands push down the left foot, it steps back. Both hands rise up and fall down. To the front, block the knife. Keep it away. Back, turn, circle. 1. And strike. 1, 2, push down, hand below the forearm on the other side. Block 1, block 2, sink into cat stance, push. Big circles. 1, 2, 3. Coming up, protecting your head, reaching in. Clearing across, hook punch, turn. Taking off the helmet, hand comes down, another hook punch, scoop the ice cream, kicking, push, poke, punch. Hands together, rotate, open the right. Counterclockwise circles. 1, 2, 3. On the rising of the third one, turn to the corner and push into catch a sparrow by the tail. Single whip to the corner. Knee up, turn and expand. Draw back. Cloud. 2, 3. And then single whip to the side, and then reach out. Shift back, posture. Strike with the right, big circle with the right, little circle with the left, pick up the right, kick it out, step to the corner, push with the left hand, big circle with the left, little circle with the right, pick up the foot, out, back, rotate 180, both hands push down the left hand picks it up and pushes forward. And then you step carefully and push. And then brush the knee, step carefully and push. Brush the knee, step carefully and punch. Deflect to the side, hook punch, rotate, take off the helmet, hook punch, scoop, kick, push, poke, punch. Now the ending sequence, so come back, low onto the right foot, big circle with both hands, pick up the left foot, kick it away, bring it back up, heel kick down, bring it back up, close your hands, step across, swing the arms down past the hips, back, double strike, left hand high, swing back, turn, double strike, right hand high, open the hands, bring them together by the right eye, step forward with the left foot, big circles, up and out, up, down, and up, and step across. Swing the leg back, Double strike, equal height. Shift back, turn to the side, push, double circle, 2 hands. This is the fast kick. Turn, double circle. Bring the foot up, out, up, down. Lock the face with the left, scoop the ice cream, kick, push, poke, punch, draw back, and push away. Turn to the front, and carry the tiger to the mountain. Okay? Any questions about the second set? Okay, so let's take a look at a movement here and use it as a template to increase proficiency in other movements. So let's look at the feet first. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the last repulsing the monkey posture here, right? We've stepped back like this, and you turn here. Okay, I want to work on that turn, and I want to work on it. Well, I'll explain a number of ways. So first here, right hand up, left hand's back, right foot forward. Now, can you see my feet? I don't know if you can see my feet well enough here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, my right foot's in the cat stance position, the right hand's here. My right foot's going to turn this way, and that means my left foot has to allow it to rotate here to get to there. You see? So just think about your feet for a moment. Turn your right foot this way and rotate on the front of your left foot and allow your knees to align here. Now from here, my weight's on my right foot mainly. I can swing my left foot back and then shift back. Okay, so just that much. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, again. 1, 2, 3. I come back. Okay, so instead of being 1, 2, think of one movement now. Ready? 1. Okay, so what I'm doing is, here, let me grab my helper, is I'm going to get my legs to align here like this. And I'm going to put my weight onto my right, and then I'm going to pick the spot at the front of my right foot here. And I'm going to rotate around it in the most perfect spiral to a center point that I possibly can. Here, okay? So again, one more time. 1, and you put the weight to the front of the right foot, and you rotate through that spot. Okay? So that's your feet. Now your hands, here, as this turns, I gotta face the camera, I guess, here. As this turns, this is coming around in a circle. I'm gonna do this motion. I'm gonna go in this circle. So if you do that as you rotate, here, the hand should be extended out. And then as you step back, it comes back with you. Okay, so just the right hand with the body rotation. Ready? 1, 2. Does that sort of make sense? Yeah, good. You got to tie those dynamics together because remember, you're always moving your center, not just your arm. So I'm moving my center here, and that's what's giving me this part, but I'm moving my center back, and that's what's giving me this part. Okay? So as I do that, so I'm here, and I turn, and I bring this hand back, this hand reaches up and out. So I end up in this posture. Okay, so again, go to here, 1, 2. Okay, and then remember the idea of quadrants, upper quadrant, lower quadrant, and you're crossing to the opposite sides. Okay, so everything is based off of the yin yang. So we had I gave a figure 8 and then a line in the middle between the two, right? So here, I'm drawing around the circle. Well, the circle is always representative of at least 1/2 of the figure 8. So I turn that circle, and then this circle comes on top. There's 2 figure 8s right there, right? Like this, and they're crossing each other. They're sort of blending like a Venn diagram into each other. And that's important for the upper body, but remember the line in the middle, and that you want to ride between the high and the low and stay stable by staying between the two. That's here to here, really. But let's talk about it from here. So when I'm here and I turn, there's no wobble like this, right? Any of that's going to throw you off. So what you do is you think about a platform, that's the line in the middle here. And then this is the yin and yang rising and falling above and below that line. So again, and I come around. So try it 5 times and think about the stability of the center with the rotation around the outside as being the principle, okay? 5 times. Okay, now, I want to show you guys something. I just wanted to see a little bit where you're at. So one of the things you want to watch for is weight coming forward like this. So if I was here and I do this turn, there's a tendency to fall forward here a little bit. So when you turn, push your head up. Even if your body's spiraling down, push your head up. Let your spine become very long. So when I turn, it's upright with through the head. Let's try it a couple more times. That was better. That was better. Okay. Now, you get one shot, really, in real life at a technique. If you're going to use a technique, defend yourself, you got one chance to really use it. So we're going to think about this idea. I'm going to be here. I'm going to turn towards the camera, right? And this is all me just not getting hurt, not getting hit. Whoa, 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 right? And then I have one shot to come in. And I want that to be how you look at this. Chaos erupts around you. You have to pivot yourself to deal with it. And all this stuff is happening. And then you get one shot, boom, and you go in. Now, let's look at the feet again here. When I do that, 1, 2, my weight came back to my left. This foot is empty. That means I can push forward from my left, right? My left, right? Ha ha. Anyway, this is the kidney 1 spot. Kidney 2 is on the outside of the foot here, there. So what you want to do is when you turn to here, I want you to think of a spiral from the kidney 1 spot out to the kidney 2 spot that you shoot forward from. Does that make sense enough? Do I have to show you my feet again? Okay. This is key though, okay? I was working on this with a karate student recently in a different technique, but same principle, where you have this position where you just move straight forward and in. And what they kept doing was shuffling their feet and then moving in. And the reason that a person does that is because there's a hesitancy to commit to the move. There's an idea of like, I'm going to try and find a better angle, or I'm going to just set myself up to whatever. You can't let yourself develop that. If you're truly in the moment and you're flowing with the Tao, as they would say, you don't need that. All you need to do is act. And that action has to come in a straight line and in. Okay? So from here, one more time, I'll just demonstrate, relatively, is chaos erupts around me and I spiral, I flow with it. And then one shot in and I get it without hesitation, without pausing, without consideration, just instincts guides me to the spot. A couple more times, please, whole thing. Yes, I like the spirit, Bruno. That was great. Again, please. Okay, so I can only see the people I can see. So this is for everybody. This is for everybody. You can always do things too slow or too fast, right? It's the speed in the middle, right? The middle between up and down that really is the way you want to aim. So let's just say normally people do these things. Nobody hears from them, but normally this is what happens. So what I'm pointing out is this: too fast is this. right? And you're not really reaching in and balance. You're just, kind of too chaotically throwing yourself into it. That's no good because when you reach in then you're off balance, it's not gonna work. So that's too fast. And then the other possibility is that you pause. And Tai Chi is not about pausing. It's one fluid technique to another. There's no pause. So the pause would be stop and then reach in. And you can't do that either. So that's the beauty, as I said, of seeking perfection when you know you won't ever be 100% perfect, but it's tweaking these little deviations off of that line, right? So you go too fast, you gotta slow back. You go too slow, you gotta speed it up. So one more time, because we're gonna run out of time, and everything, you only get one chance. I'm not gonna say you have to do it perfectly because no one will, but you get one chance. And I'm gonna tell you when to go. I want you to start from here. And I want you to remember though, that this is not just one chance to do a movement, this is self-defense. It matters to get it right. Don't let that weigh you down though. Let that free you. It matters so you can be free to act correctly. Relax, focus your eyes where they need to be focused. Don't put tension where it doesn't belong. Go. Better, both of you better. Good. All right. So there, any questions for the day then? All right. Well, as always, gratitude is the path. Thank you for the time and have a great week. Okay?
See you all next week. Bye bye, everyone.